Of Clutch Gen Gaming, the Climb series. We are on match 2, versus Team Red and nA.Phase. This is match 2. In match 1, we did see lots of fight going on, but, ultimately, nA.Phase did gain victory. And, we are in match 2. We are expecting, Team Red to, do some changes, get back on their wagon. And today, tonight I have, Hades join with me. And hello, Hades.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're in game 2 of this best of 3. And the last game was absolutely chaotic. Like, there were fights happening everywhere. Not just in one lane, but across multiple lanes. And from what I saw in that, like, there was just very few bad decisions that cost Team Red quite a lot. If they could minimize those mistakes and not repeat those same mistakes in this game and play more clean, play more calm.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I believe they have skipped the ban. I'm not sure if it's due to connection issues or this might be alright. Might be connection issues because Nish did skip one ban.
That can't be because I see Annie and Swain being banned here, so that technically
on the other side of Team Red.
So far, yeah.
Team Red, we only have Yorick, or is it?
We'll see if they're going to take away the Eloy also in this first rotation of bans here. It would be a smart choice, or maybe they could even first pick the Eloy. But you can see that Nishastic he's missed on the ban here.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I believe there is a disconnect. So
most likely, we might actually see a remake here.
Or, I don't think the team is confidently saying, take all the bans you want. We're just going to ban one champion.
It could be one of those strange occasions, but I highly doubt that. They might, they might type out and tell the referee who the okay, never mind.
We are back to the lobby.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the CG Esports Finals lobby.
Yep,
and if you look very closely at the chat, you will see a very important message.
Alright, yep. We just see a lot of banter going on, but meanwhile, let's talk about last match. Meanwhile, all this goes and everything gets settled around. So, as I said, the teams. I believe, Team Red made a mistake of pathing in their jungle because, they did let, FaZe get a lot of vision on their blue side, which, led to, Poppy's dismay because Poppy couldn't make those plays where, Poppy wasn't let to shine. They were 24/7 tracking Poppy. So, what do you think they could have done better?
Okay, I mean, Poppy did manage to get a couple of good ganks. However, the vision game from nA.Phase gave them a lot more intelligence and was able to nullify them taking any more, it helped them cut down their losses because of the way they were playing their vision game and the way they were playing their lanes. They always had priority in mid lane, and they always had priority in bot lane as well. You could always see that even though Vladimir was constantly on low HP, he had always pushed Nico under the turret, which let him dive a lot more frequently. And because of the fact that they played around the bot lane a lot, meant that they could get the Zyra Khan lane ahead because they were the ones who initially stepped up and took charge of this game by taking the first blood and getting priority in the bot lane. While Poppy was not able to, gank very effectively due to the control that nA.Phase had in the laning phase, he was still able to get a few good ganks. However, their team comp was not the strongest. If you try to compare team comps directly when it comes to team fights, nA.Phase had a much more stronger team.
Yes, in terms of team fighting, yes, but as I said, I do see this in a lot of the matches. Like from rookie teams, to all the experienced team. As even Team Red made that mistake too. That they are not, they are drafting something and they're playing something else. In this case, they drafted a a skirmishing team comp, and they did the entire opposite. Just they just dived into team fights. Even though they had good engages. Ultimately, when the enemy has the advantage,
I
you
was
can't.
expecting the Galio pick, and it was actually locked in for Kassa here. It might even be a support Galio. We don't know for sure. It's a flexible pick. Can go into either bot lane or mid lane. I highly doubt it's going to be nashastic on the Galio in top lane, but this should secure the. This should secure them a very strong first pick, and I am expecting to see a Nocturne coming out on this second rotation, unless Gar steals it away, because the Nocturne Galio or Nocturne J4 combo is actually just ridiculously strong.
I believe it's going to be Kalista.
Kaiser? Oh, no.
It shouldn't be. I don't think they'll never pick yes. I don't think anyone is. Yeah, I don't think anyone else play. I think it's a Kaiser.
It's a Draven. It's a Dre Lucian. A Lucian.
Yeah, Draven would have been troll. I don't.
But I mean, Taric Lucian's a pretty strong combo. I mean, Lucian anyway has a very strong early game, and will be able to put a lot of pressure. But now we'll see if Lemonades will answer. Will he go for the Vayne pick again, or will he pick his Kai'Sa?
He's gonna go for his Vayne.
He wants to go on the Vayne again. I guess he wants to prove those viewers wrong that he can actually, forget about the previous game, just come into this fresh, and that's exactly the type of attitude that I wanted to see from Team Red. This just means that they're accepting the fact that they made mistakes, and now they need to fix those mistakes before things get kind of ugly. And now we have to see a Nocturne pick here maybe, but no, they opt to go for the Nami instead, which is very I mean, it's okay because Vayne gets more sustain out of this, and also there's a lot more poke coming down from the the Nami. But I mean, one proper gank, and that's a very squishy bot lane on the side of Team Red here. One proper gank could just be so much pressure. Oh, and Gar on his signature, Amumu. This is not looking good. I mean, this draft seems really strong already. They have a Lucian, they have a Cosmic Radiance, and a Dazzling Taric, as well as a hyper carry. Well, not a hyper carry per se, but a very strong early to mid game carry in the Lucian. So now the second rotation of bans will come through. Master Yi is taken away from Charger, and we'll see if they take away the J4 or the Nocturne in this next rotation here. On the next ban.
Yeah, or Vladimir and Mauser.
Yeah, they're focusing. Right now, so they're going to be focusing on mid and top lane because the rest of the lanes are picked. You'll probably see them take away another one of Candy Panda's champions here. Or they'll probably just take away one of Saber's champions.
Do you see Kindred going?
Kindred ban. Now, that was something I was not expecting. Maybe Charger was planning on pulling it out this game, but I don't think so. I'm expecting to see a Nocturne pick here. A very good call. They're taking out the Lissandra as well. That's a very good ban, because Lissandra is very strong in this patch, and we can see Candy Panda is going back to that, or rather not reworked, but rather slightly reworked Urgot, who is no longer tanky anymore, but can be played more of like an AD bruiser, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see what the answer is going to be now in the top lane. Charger is free to pick up a strong champion here. We'll see if he'll go with the Nocturne or the Jarvan here.
I believe he's going to go with something different.
Why would you go for the Xin Zhao against an Amumu?
Yeah, I believe they are gonna play for the skirmish again, because I don't think it'll be a vase in like late game, because Nocturne.
What?
He is gonna get shut down late game, because Nocturne is not gonna bring much utility on late game. Because like the fact that you do see their front line, it's menacing, and you do have Taric as well. So diving is not gonna be an option. They have to play this differently. I do like their approach on how they're approaching this game.
I mean, I'm seeing a Nishastic Silas here. Like, I've never seen Nishastic play this champion before. Especially after the top lane tank Silas is not really all that effective, because they've reduced his healing as well as his AP scaling ratios on the heal as well. So overall, not as strong as he used to be. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I was honestly looking forward to seeing. I was thinking that go for the Nocturne, not because of anything else, but just because of the Nocturne Galio combo. It's a very strong engage tool at any point in the game. And plus, the darkness is always good, just playing mind games with the enemy team. And at level 6, whenever whenever Paranoia is available, Nocturne can always look to try and get into a lane. Because, see, he doesn't have to play around the enemy vision. He just needs to be in range for the ult. So he can even lane gank if he wants to. And if Galio gets priority in the mid lane and able to rotate towards the lane that Nocturne is ganking, they can always instantly turn it into, like, either if it's in the top lane, they can turn it into 1v3, or if it's bot lane, they can turn it into 4v2. So there's so many options here that they have, but they decided to go with the Xin Zhao instead, who I feel is not going to be very effective in this game, especially because the Xin is up against a very, very strong front line. This Lucian is going to be immortal at this point.
Please give me a moment. I think I am having connection issues again.
Don't worry, we're in the spectator delay blade. There's 2 more minutes until the game starts. But yeah, just talk to me about why do you think they went for this Xin Zhao, especially once you can see an Amumu has already been locked in for the side of nA.Phase here. Okay, well, it looks like my co-caster is actually having connection issues, people. But don't worry, because I'm going to be bringing you this action all the way until the end of this best of 3 series. Don't worry, I'll be right here with you guys, so don't go anywhere. There's 1 more minute and 30 seconds to go until the game starts. Hopefully there won't be as many disconnections as there was in the previous game. But I do want to point out that this team fight composition that nA.Phase have picked is just bonkers. They have a Taric support, a Lucian AD carry, and together that's a very good synergy, especially because Lucian can always dash in with the Taric stun to get, to be able to pull off a perfect combo. Use his entire combo during the duration of the Dazzle stun. And also the Amumu brings a lot of CC, and it's also really, really tanky and hard to kill. Unless this Vayne gets really fed. And this Xin Zhao is able to accelerate the early game power of this team comp and get these laners ahead. I don't see how nA.Phase will be able to answer the very strong team fight that nA.Phase will be able to bring to the table here, especially because they also got an Urgot in the top lane. Now remember, this is patch 9.7, and this is a slightly reworked Urgot here. He has, he's lost his shield, but the mana, the mana ratios and the damage on his Q, I believe, and his mana cost on the W or his E has been reduced to 0 at rank 4. So it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to be jumping into the game very soon. And from the looks of things, I have a feeling we're going to be in for a very exciting game. I'm just looking forward to see how Red are going to play out this early game, because that's where the Xin Zhao is strong. That is where he can actually, out-trade, out-rotate, and maybe even counter-jungle the Amumu, because Xin is a lot stronger in early game skirmishes, and especially in 1v1s around River, around the Scuttle Crab, Xin Zhao does have the advantage, and especially now, because he is running the Hail of Blades as well, so he definitely needs to play super aggressive, and his team needs to back to communicate the vision right. I have belief and I have confidence that this PnX Red team has the team comp to try and pull this off, but at the same time, I'm really scared to see this go, any early kills and advantages go to the side of nA.Phase in this game, because they have a comp that if they get ahead even slightly can just single-handedly take over this game. So as we jump into Summoner's Rift, we don't see any pauses yet, so I'm thankful for that. Pretty sure you guys are too. So, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please share, like and share, and get the word across. You know, there's some Sri Lankan League of Legends happening here, an amateur tournament between two good teams in Sri Lanka. It's nA.Phase versus PnX Red in the finals of the Clutch Gen Esports The Rise tournament, and this is the grand finals. Everything is on the line here for the cheeky Winds of War there by Gali is able to scout out both the mid laner and the top laner. The side of nA.Phase. They're just putting a bit of damage, but they're not going to back off. They're probably just going to regen that back. No big deal. Some good vision, you know, being planted down. Both teams are taking it safe, playing it defensively. We do see a mirrored start here.
Minions have spawned.
Well, I'm back. Sorry for the delay, guys. You know, connection issues. You know, life at Sri Lanka. So sorry, guys.
Welcome back, my friend. I missed you. I was talking about how
Right.
127 for me, 128, 129, 130.
All right. Thank you for the warm welcome, Hades. So,
You're welcome. And I was telling, you know, our spectators that this entire game will depend on Xin Zhao because he has Halo Blades. He is the stronger jungler in the early game, and he has to get his team ahead. Because if you let Amumu farm and get a few items, he will pretty much be unkillable. And I'm really looking forward to see his rotations here, how he's going to go. Will he try any cheeky ganks? You can see so far that he's just going straight to his wolf camp at this point. You might see him go for that early scuttle crab as well. While damage is being traded here between the Nami and Wayne, which is, I mean, understandable. There is a Nami, so there's a lot of poke that's going to come through.
and we also, you know, and the best thing about this is, like, you know, Envy's one of best signature pick is Nami. You know, Envy is known to shine on Nami. So let's see, you know, I believe this is going to be a good match to watch because, you know, I think, you know, Team Red has got their game on, you know, because due to the, you know, distractions early on, they would have, you know, had such a hard time because they were all, you know, having, that is a good trade coming from Nish. So, you know, as I was saying, you know, they were having lots of connection problems, you know, because of that, they would have been, you know, a little bit frustrated, but now, you know, everything is set up, no more disconnects.
Oh, good trade there by Kasa. And another great trade by Nish, but does take a turret hit there. You can see that Red are playing super aggressive in this early game. Now, this is where Xin Zhao needs to step forward. You can see Amumu hovering around topside, but I think Nish knows that there's something up there, and he just decides to play some ward. You can see Charger is moving into the bush on the top side, trying to look for a lane gank, because this wave will push back eventually.
Yes, indeed. So, you know, we do see a cheeky gank coming from, you know, Xin Zhao is hovering around the bushes. He's waiting for, you know, our god to come out, but, you know, but Candy has established a push, but, you know, I'm afraid of that, but, you know, it's Kasa is really good at this, you know.
And here they go. This is gonna happen.
I believe it's gonna be a gang, and there comes a nice stun. I believe it's gonna be
gang first blood picked up by Charger. That is exactly what I want to see from the junk of Team Red. Puts his team ahead, immediately picking up that first kill of the game.
Well, you know, I'm finally happy. You know, at least one team is playing according to their draft, and this makes me so happy. And as you said, that was a well executed gank. And, you know, another thing I wanted to, you know, show about how, you know, Kasa plays. You know, he really plays the matchup really well. You know, even though Irelia is like really strong, but Kasa plays it really well. He, you know, whenever Irelia engages, you just see that he carefully uses his, you know, he uses his W to, you know, W to, you know, deny Irelia of the extreme burst, and he carefully backs away. You know, that's really a good trading pattern. You know, from this I could say that, you know, the trading is, you know, the laning phase is gonna go good on the side of Gallios, but, you know, the only fact that I'm concerned is that how they are gonna keep up, because, you know, Candy has lost the first blood, and, you know, that is gonna take a mental toll on them. So, you know, as a question for you, you know, what do you think is best for Team Phase to do at this position, at this state of the game?
Right now, at this point of the time, I feel like what they're doing right now is they need to cut down their losses now. They know that there's a flashless top lane, and you can see the Candy Panda is playing so aggressively into the top side. They have no vision, they have no knowledge where this Xin Zhao is at this point, and yet he's playing so aggressively. I mean, he does have a ward, but he can still be ganked with the right pathing, and if I was Charger, I would probably try to look for another gank in the top lane, especially because the flash is down, instead of trying to look to burn a flash in the bot lane as well. But if I was nA.Phase, I'd just try to look to get some good vision and, neutralize the lanes, keep them at an even place. Not make sure that they're too pushed out or they're too, pushed in either. That's what I'd like to see from nA.Phase, actually.
But the good thing, you should notice about nA.Phase is that, they're always gaining vision on the enemy jungler. You did see Candy Panda, going into the blue side of the Team Red, and he did get a nice vision out, and he did confirm that the jungler is on one side.
Sorry to interrupt you, my friend, but we do see nishastic has his level 6 here. You should probably try and look to take this ultimate and maybe like roam mid lane or roam into the jungle and try and find somebody here with that Urgot ultimate.
I mean, it's a long stretch, but Sylas is gonna have that, that really heavy impact. Sylas is really strong. When he gets to his late game, and really very hard to outtrade him, because he does get a whopping 175% of his healing when he's below 40%. It was 200%
earlier. Haven't they reduced that to 100? Oh yeah, they reduced.
95. Yes, yeah, it was 200, but it's really much. And Sylas does have good wave clears and Urgot. If he wants the priority, he can just shove out Urgot and get that priority. So that's a really good thing going on here. I think the pick is good. Nish is playing it to the strengths, and all the lanes have their lane priority. At any point of the time, if there is going to be a fight, all their laners are going to show up. Teleport is available on Nish, but Candy Panda does have his teleport down. So if they were to force a fight on bottom side, get the Mountain Drake, it is a confirmed Drake, because Candy cannot respond, and the enemy team is still there, and I believe it's going to be a free Drake. So that was really well drafted. As I was saying, they did figure out their draft. They are doing it really well. Even the time that takes it for them to check, they will be already done with the Drake. So
and this is all because they have priority in the lanes. So they're able to make use of this early game comp that they've drafted around this Xin Zhao, and they're taking really good. They're making very good use of it, I should say. So they should keep up this momentum. They need to make sure that they try and get as much as they can in this early game, and make sure that this Wayne gets his farm. Beautiful right there by Kasa, actually using his taunt to stop that extra damage coming through.
So, that was really well played, because the first thing I noticed is that how he trades. It's you don't see that in many Galio players. He does really well. Does really do it. I think if he can bait Irelia onto him, that would be a really good kill. And we just see top lane engaging, and that might be a kill.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Did Sylas steal and use the Urgot ultimate there?
Yes, he did. But it was so close.
It timed out just before he could activate. Kasa's gonna flash it, that gets his flash shot, and the Winds of War, beautiful rotation.
Oh my god!
Huge.
That is fantastic. That is what I'm talking about. Team Red is finally using their draft, and
meanwhile, though, in the bot lane, you can see they are engaging, trying to return fire here. Guard goes onto the tower, uses his ultimate, but they're in turret range. Lemonades has to pop final hour here, but he should be safe. He knows he's okay. He just needs to now stay back in case he might get Do 1 again here at this point, because I don't think Gar is gonna let him off the hook that easy, but you can see Nami does cancel her recall. She's gonna stick around in case Gar is gonna come back for a return gang, but there's one ultimate down. Mojo does not have his ultimate up. You can see Galio is also moving towards bottom side just in case this might happen. So very good communication here from Red. They know exactly what is up, and now you can see Charger, knowing that Amumu is in the bot side, just goes into the enemy jungle, takes that red buff away. And he's also going to take the Grom camp, and now, the Krug camp. And Krugs give so much experience and gold currently in this patch, and this is going to put Amumu really far behind, because he's just wasting a lot of time.
I believe Xin Zhao could go for sneaky gank, but he does, recall there.
Yeah,
It's really.
he just wants to use that gold that he had gained. Like, he's completed his warrior enhancement now completely. And he is ahead by 1 kill, almost identical in gold, but don't forget that he has also stolen away a red as well as a Krug camp. You can see Saber actually moving up to the top side here because he does have priority in mid lane, but I mean, it's not going to do anything because Silas is just going to back away, play it safe, and then wait for the wave to push back into him before he goes again. Now, I feel that they need to bait out this Taric ultimate and then try and go for an all-in.
Yes, indeed, but the fact that is like they could get the Herald because they do have a lot of control here, but they are say not risking it.
Oh no.
Oh, there goes Vayne.
Again, that was he didn't respect the stun from the Taric there.
It does a lot of damage, but it's a good thing that they built this comp because it does give Vayne a lot of survivability. And as I'm a keen observer of the players. Lemonade's main weakness is that he tend to randomly do some missteps, as you might observe it in game 1. He tends to do that. It happens in every ADC player. You do that for some random fun, but you tend to misstep. And this comp, even if he missteps, the team is saying, even if you mess up, we'll be there for you. So props to them for drafting this comp because it does give Vayne a lot of survivability.
You can see now there's 4 people here in mid lane. Like I'm not sure what the game plan is over here, but are they gonna try the lane swap at this point?
Yeah, indeed. But the fact that is even though that red is ahead, but the gold difference is just 100 gold. But like what do you think is the best strategy right now for the side of nA.Phase? They are playing it safe because they did lose a kill, and the problem is if they force a fight in Herald, it is going to be auto loss for them because they don't have their ADC.
And this is probably going to be a dead movement here as the fight breaks out. A tidal wave comes in, uses the ultimate there by the Irelia, as the Cosmic Radiance is able to negate so much damage. Saber goes in, picks up a kill on the way. Nishastik's all alone, has to flash away to safety. You can see that the Herald was picked up, however, and they're able to recall safely. You can see that Nishastik actually uses teleport to get out of that instead of just trying to run away and recall.
And also the fact that he did have empowered recall, which Nish does make me question a lot of things, but it's I don't know what is going on.
In his mind, he must have just thought that, oh no, they're coming after me, I'm just going to teleport now.
Yes, and the funny fact is that both the empowered recall and the teleport are relatively have similar recall times, but
yeah, well, Charger's the one who had the empowered recall, so he was able to get out without any problems.
Oh yeah, dude. What's going on here?
Now you can see, now you can see, even though no turrets have fallen, they've still opted in for a lane swap here. And they're also going to try and make use of this to try and get as many plates as they can in the mid lane.
So I think the mid lane chart might fall because due to the fact that there is no one to defend it. Irelia is 2 to 3, 4 minutes away,
right there, like,
and that's
almost 3 plates. They will actually get a 3rd plate also. Oh no! Actually,
there comes the teleport. I believe it might be a stun from Irelia, and if Irelia lands the
ultimate and uses the Cosmic Radiance, is able to keep his team safe. That is beautiful play there from the side of PnX Red. They're playing really well this game. I'm really happy to see this.
This is what I call a fair competition. This is really good, as you can see the top side, Vayne is given that solo lane, and this is a really bad mistake to make as
But there's 2 people actually moving her away. She knows something's up, so she's moving away from there. She doesn't have any vision. She needs to respect the fact that she might get hauled in for pushing too far up.
Yes,
but now there is another Drake up on the map, and now with the priority that they have over the lanes, they should just try to secure the vision here, but Charger might get caught out here. He is alone, but here comes the support. A good use of the flawless duet there keeps the Xin Zhao away from any engages there, but this just means that Drake is probably going to go uncontested, but
this shows a lot. They are showing their strength. They are showing a lot of control, but and also the other sad fact is they are letting the Vayne solo farm, which is not a good thing. it's one thing that Lucian gets to farm a solo lane, and it's another thing that Vayne gets to farm a solo lane.
Yep, that is
And,
very true.
And they are letting that happen. They are giving Vayne that free space.
Oh my goodness. Kratos is just able to dash away even though the flashes were expended there. Another fight breaks out. Galio uses his right entrance. He's going to get a nice... he's actually going to use his stopwatch there and does cancel it.
Oh my god.
That was... I'm not sure why he did that, and that pretty much cost them the entire team fight there. And horribly misplayed there. Just when PnX Red had everything going their way, they decide to pull, take a really bad fight, or just, miscalculated timings, or could you walk me through what exactly went wrong there?
The fact that they should have never, even they should have waited for Lucian to dash away, because because Galio did waste his flash for Lucian, who hasn't dashed away, so the kill did escape, and Lucian was able to reposition himself and
come back into that fight. But,
come back into
the fact that Galio did not complete his ultimate, he used his stopwatch there, was not able to get the knock up and follow up with the taunt there. I think
and also
that's
the fact that they didn't
and
also the fact that they didn't have enough damage to finish off finish off Lucian in time.
Well, yeah, the ADC was in top lane, and this is a Silas, Xin Zhao, Nami, and Galio. So when it comes to a rotation of spells and combos, once they've used their combo, they're pretty much sitting ducks in that instance.
Yeah, so this is still looking good. It's not a big deal. The goal leads are slightly in favor of nA.Phase, but they are forgetting the fact that
it's just 1,000 gold at this point. It's not a big deal, but it could. Yeah, what I can see is that that fight alone gave them 3 kills and bought them a ticket back into this game, and that is ideally not what this team that has drafted a Xin Zhao and drafted a strong early game with the Xin Zhao and the Nami should be trying to do. They should try not to take those fights, or play a bit smarter around them. Now, you could see the engage goes in, Lemonades has to flash, but Kratos goes in really deep, he's gonna get knocked up, Cosmic Radiance comes in, Amumu with his elastic slingshot, he's able to come, he's gonna run in and use his ultimate here, he still hasn't used it. I'm not sure everything cool now, but here comes
I believe Amumu is gonna fall down. That was a beautiful...
Yeah, he just used his ultimate, and you can see a lot of follow-up damage coming through, but not enough. Candy Panda does come into this. They should be able to pick up the Nami here. He flashes forward, misses his E, but that should be enough damage, and Kratos picks up the kill there with a beautiful relentless pursuit. And these fights are chaotic, but once again, nA.Phase come out on top in this fight and will also be able to take this tier 1 turret in the top lane as their reward for cleaning up this fight.
That was...
In the bot lane, you can see a lot of aggression. Saber just going in there. He's actually at this point, he can just easily 1v1 the Silas.
There is a lot of thing going on here, as Vayne did not get any kills, which just saddens me, that they are, denying Vayne a lot of kills.
Range. I'm not sure why Nishastic stuck around for that. That was not ideal, and a teleport is also expended there. A kill is picked up in the end there. Irelia is now sitting at 3 kills. And has already completed a Triforce. This is not good. It's not looking good at all for PnX Red here.
Yes, indeed. So, what do you think they can do for to get back into the game? What should be Team Red?
They need to definitely stop this unnecessary fighting. They're just they know that they are at a disadvantage. They should try to not be too aggressive and give away more kills.
You do see this recurring pattern. They seem to get the advantage, but they are constantly dropping it. So, I don't understand why they are doing that. Even in the earlier match, they did fall behind, but they did manage to get back up. And then again, they just gave the advantage to them, and they are positioning for a team fight in here.
Again, you can see Lemonades. He doesn't even have a Blade of the Ruin can complete. Just plays aggressive and loses almost his entire health bar. They're trying to get this turret, but I don't know if it's gonna work, because you can see that the ultimates are up now. You will see a Tarik's ultimate coming up real quick. Amumu already has his ultimate up. Candy Panda has his teleport available and is also rotating mid lane. They might look for a pick here in the jungle, because they do have priority. You can see that that stun is used perfectly, followed by the Ultimate there and the bandage toss. Candy Panda able to secure a kill, and now another 1v1 breaks out in the bot lane between Saber and Kassa. And now you can see Candy Panda does go on the target and just get taken down. Guard is also gonna fall here. They're just being too aggressive here, and now the response was
And the
there.
first kill is picked up by Vayne. Now that was, amusing. I don't understand these teams. For a moment they seem like, they have everything figured out, and then the teams drop their advantage. Yeah, they tower dive and they mess up.
Well, so I guess, this is good. This is great for Red,
Team Red.
because Wayne was able to... who did Wayne get the kill on in that?
Vayne did pick up a kill on, I believe, Amumu. Guessed.
Oh, okay, well,
Wayne.
I don't think there was a bounty on Amumu, but this is going to be a Drake picked up here. And going to be another Drake for the blue team.
Yes, indeed. That is going to open up a lot of possibilities. It might not seem much, but they are, getting those small macro advantages over Team nA.Phase. They are, slowly collecting the advantage. It does not seem much, but Vayne is going to come with her Blade of the Rain King out now. And, you can expect Vayne to dish out more damage,
That's definitely true. Now, right now, what they need to do is they need to make sure that this Vayne is able to... Oh no! You can see that Mojo does get caught up there and taken down by Kassa. Just very bad positioning there. Just gets condemned into the wall, bubbled, taunted, Justice Punch right in the face, and our pretty lifeguard unfortunately has to bite the dust.
Very well played indeed, but
Lucky.
you know what they need more than anything? They need to recall all of them. They have so much gold sitting in their pocket, but I don't think they're itemizing it right now, which worries me because
Oh wait, what? nishastic just used his ultimate on...
Oh my god.
Well, not his ultimate, Amumu's ultimate on one person, but that is a low cooldown.
But it still is ultimate.
Oh, that's what we call in Sri Lanka a zoning.
Oh my god!
Level 3-man taunt there by Kassa. They go in on this fight. They commit to it. Nobody goes down, but the Urgot, and another kill on the way in here. PnX Red bringing it home. They have evened out the kills, evened out the turrets, and now the gold is almost back to normal. Now, like you said, they need to back. Like, they have so much gold to spend here.
Exactly, but I don't think they are. They might need to,
back.
They should do a split recall here where, they get to send someone home, because, they have to respect the Irelia on bot side. They could, keep Silas over here, but, there is no point on the side of, nA.Phase to say...
Silas should not go near this Irelia at all at this point.
Irelia is very scary, and she does have a lot of farm as well. At this point, I believe, there is not much you can do about the Irelia, but the fact is that you could, still collapse on others. That's the best part, and they are sneaking Baron here. I don't know what they're going to answer it, but I think they might be able to pick up Baron because Charger might die here.
Saber's actually able to pick up a kill there, in a 2v1, that's one fit really. He's even DMing afterwards. And while Tyrant Nasher is secured on the side of nA.Phase, what is going on in this game, Blade?
As I said again, they should never try to go near Irelia. They should respect the fact that it was a 3-0 Irelia, now it's a 4-0 Irelia, and she also have a Sterak's gauge complete, so now you just can't even go near her unless you have Vayne.
That's a big boundary that they should try to put on this Vayne.
And it's gonna be really hard.
Even Lucian hasn't died here so far, so...
The fact is that they should, it's good that Irelia split pushes, you should try to engage with your whole team on, then you can, get those easy kills on, but, they are not they did use that for a while, they did, pick them up, but then again, they just went on autopilot and went bot and, tried to grab the kill on Irelia, but, Irelia is Irelia, she has really good sticking potential, and with her ultimate, and they try to go in again.
I don't get it. Why is nishastic going in for... Why is he trying to look to start a fight against a team that has a Baron buff?
It was a good engage, but, they did withdraw well,
I really don't think that was a good engage because you could see that they had vision on the side on nA.Phase, and they also have Irelia pushing into the bot lane. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a quick pause, but it will resume shortly. But they don't have any control over that bot lane, and that Irelia is just free to split push for days. And they're trying to start a fight being at a disadvantage and also up against a Baron buff. That is not the smartest choice that you can make. And now they don't have the Cosmic Radiance to keep them safe in case nA.Phase decide to pull the trigger and start a fight here. Because now this is 24 minutes into the game, we're very well into mid game, and this turret is very low. They could easily start a fight, take out the turret, and also pick up kills here.
Well, I want to argue with you on that fact, because if you respond to that Irelia, you will be losing 2 turrets in mid lane, and that will be a really bad choice. But there is a fight breaking down on mid lane, and
they pull the trigger, and now they are paying the price for that. Cosmic Radiance comes in. 4 people invulnerable right now. Gar is managing to zone everybody away, and Cuss is trying his best to hold on to this bot lane. He's gonna get probably go on here. Saber goes in with his auto attack, just get taunted, but a beautiful distance there by Cuss is able to almost get the kill, but flash out from the Irelia is able to keep her alive, and now she's 5-0. Oh no, things are starting to go from bad to worse for the side of Team Red here, and I told you, Blade, that this is going to happen, that if they misstep and they make one tiny mistake, like trying to start a fight against a Baron empowered team, they are going to be on the losing end of that trade, and that is exactly what happened there.
Fact is that, they did not collapse as 5 men. They were missing Galio at that point, and also Silas did waste his ult. At that point, it was too late, but they did have a good chance. If that was a 5-man collapse, there might have been chance. But the other facts, in the fight, that Charger did go too deep into the enemy team, and which Charger was dead by the time, and Amumu sneaked away into the team fight as well. Amumu entered the backline and gave a good ultimate there. So it was props to Team nA.Phase, because they did play that team fight really well. But it was really bad. It was not worth it to Galio to go bot and answer the Irelia, because Irelia is either way gonna keep pushing, and there is nobody on the team. I repeat, nobody on the team who can solo answer.
That is
solo
true.
Answer Irelia.
The reason why they sent the Galio bot lane is because they were all grouped up in the mid lane. Galio can always just ultimate and join the fight, because he has enough range on that ultimate to join the fight instantly from the bot lane into the mid lane. Which is why they sent him. I mean, as a shot caller myself, that's what I would do, considering Galio is more tanky than the Silas as well. You can see that the heroic entrance does come here. Saber is caught up under tower, does manage to become invulnerable with the use of that ultimate, and is trying to fight back. He's peeling away, does pick up a kill, but eventually is taken down. Charger has to flash out of the fight, but here comes the Shastic with a re-engage. That's a double kill for the Vayne, and this Vayne is starting to pop off here. Will we see another engagement? Oh, the Condemned lands a bit too late, but if not, that would have been a triple kill for sure. Are they gonna chase? Are they looking to get more? Kratos does come back into the fight. Canic Panda does get taken down here. Will should probably fall. No, but the Fear Beyond Death is able to pick him up, and Vayne is able to get herself another kill. Will she make it a quadra? But no, Lucian is able to pick up the kill, and now it's only Nami, poor Nami, who's left alive, and this is going to be a sushi dinner for that mummy Yordle. And that is an ace, the first ace of the game, going in the side of nA.Phase, but I'm still sure this game is far from over. They will lose an inhibitor here, but that Vayne picked up so many shutdowns and so many kills. Will we see a flash in there? No, Kasa actually does not have his flash to engage on that and pick up the kill on the Lucian, but I have a feeling that if they now play defensive and are able to, just manage to get this Vayne a few more items, they might be able to come back into this game. What do you say, Blade?
Well, I mean, you said it all. There is nothing much I could add on to it. As Vayne did, pick up a lot of kill there. The only thing they have to, watch out for is not to die in here and protect Vayne. And maybe Silas could steal Tariq's ultimate, and that is just cheese comp for Vayne, and she will never die. They should wait for the perfect engage now. At this point of the time, I believe it's Baron is spawning, and you could compete for the Baron. There is no point in contesting. you know,
giving away the back to three.
fighting with the Irelia because it is a base.
nA.Phase is in a bit of trouble here. He's probably going to get hunted down. It's a level 13 Silas versus a level 16
they are
Irelia.
making that same mistake.
This is going to be another dead nA.Phase. He will go down, which means a fight will break out near the Baron pit. Kassa gets caught out there alone. Fear Beyond Death puts him in the grinder, and now the sights are set on this Baron, and it will go uncontested.
Well, I believe this might be the closing game. You know, it's too early to say. You know, they did spot out, you know, Charger out in the board, so you know, Charger is recalling.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash. He knows he can't get into that fight. He's just gonna recall because there's nothing he can do at this point.
Maybe they could collapse on Saber, but they are, you know, Saber is respecting the fact that all three men are back.
He has Guardian Angel, who's level 17. He is so fed right now. And you look at the levels on the side of Red. 13, 11, and now we will see Kassa's level as he respawns level 14. That is massive! This Irelia is literally soloing this game, I feel.
Oh, you know, they are... You know, it's Saber's Irelia. He did really play it good, but, you know, the way that they're responding just disappoints me in effect. You know, they should... It always, at this point of the game, it should be always a 5-man collapse, no matter it is a team fight or, you know, responding to the solo laner. You know, they're doing both half-assedly. They're trying to respond to Irelia with Silas, and they're trying to, you know, try to go for Baron Pit, you know, as a 3-man. So it's not a good strategy at this point. You know, if they do something, they should commit as a 5-man, because you know definitely that nA.Phase is gonna send someone bot side and send someone top side, because they have to open top and bot side in order to, you know, in order to have the, you know, the win condition. But here, you know, they are gonna be able to grab the inhibitor, but you know, as I said, they are gonna send someone top and bot. You know, that is how they get their win condition. You know, get those two tier 3 tarts in, and that is how you win.
Yeah, I mean, they have a very strong 1-3-1 comp. I mean, this Mojo is pretty much good enough to help this 3-man squad of Amumu, Lucian, and the Taric to keep them alive with that ultimate, even if 5 people engage on them. Which is ideally what nA.Phase should do, and they are going to look for that. Condemn comes here, and he does get stunned. Lemon 8 does get caught, does not use his QSS on time, but as uses final hour, does pop it. Here comes Candy Panda, though, and here comes Irelia as well, and this is a dead Charger. It's a quadra kill, I think, almost. A triple kill. Will we see a pentakill here? Are they going to go for it? No, they don't, but you can see that they had to pull the trigger at some point, but the coordination was not there. And this just might be it for the hopes of Team Red winning this best of 3 series. You can see that nA.Phase are hungry. The Nexus turrets are set in sight. They want this win. They want this tournament, and they want to put themselves as the champions of Clutch Gen, the Climb Esports tournament. And as the Nexus falls in a convincing but hard-fought game number 2, nA.Phase are currently sitting on top of Sri Lanka as the best team currently. So there we have it, folks. Game number 2. It has been a pleasure shoutcasting this with you, Blade. But let's run by some stats, and let's talk a little bit about how this game went and what could have been if Team Red got their coordination a little bit better. Because I feel at certain points in the game, they were the ones making the proactive plays, they were the ones making the decisive calls, and they were the ones coming out on top. But there was no answer to this Irelia. Like, there's nobody who could answer him on the side of Red. They were all underleveled, and just a few bad decisions cost them so much. And just goes to show you that a team like nA.Phase, who are so well practiced, will punish every single mistake that you make. And that is the lesson that that PnX Red need to take back now. They should not be disheartened by this. Okay, they gave a really good fight, I feel, in both games. I mean, the first game was pretty much a stomp, but this game was a lot more close than it actually seemed. 58,400 gold, 10 turrets to 1, and 46,000. That is a gold lead of 12,000 there. So Very convincing victory there, and honestly, just super well played by Delusion, who hasn't died a single time in this game, and also Irelia, who was quite simply styling on anyone who was sent against him. Even in a 2v1 situation, he was able to get a kill, so I mean, props to Saber on pulling off such a fantastic performance, and congratulations to nA.Phase on their victory. So now, I guess that's my analysis of this game for now, and this series for now. So, do you have anything that you need to add, or any observations that you made? Something you could take away from this defeat, something that you could give the fans of PnX Red, to give them some hope. What can they do when they come back for the next tournament in order to be better? What do you think they can fix?
Just major. There is, you did, address a lot of the issues they were playing. As a general note for Team Red is that I would say them to, fix their farm. Their farms did, really suffer because they were not properly funneling farm into Vayne. They did have a good, a good 5 minutes of funneling going into Vayne. But, if you see, the previous, if you see the, last year's top team like LL, they always, they always put Nightmare into, they always funnel the gold into Nightmare really well. They put Nightmare in a side lane, and they keep they keep pressure in the other lanes. But in here you didn't see that. What do you say? Lemonades was always forced to come fight. So in that case, when you funnel farm into someone, you should make sure that the funneling goes properly. Make sure that they are able to get the funnel go fully. You should have pressure in. And the other thing is, this is usually seen in a lot of rookie teams. When this is usually confusing. They are 1-3-1 pushing, and we don't know what to do. It's general. In that case, always in your ranked match or in your solo queue or in your flex matches, if you are facing that situation where the enemy team is split pushing you, they're doing 1-3-1 or they're doing it 3-3. In that case, you should collapse as a 5-man on any one of them. Sorry, not any one of them. You should collapse on any one of the split pushing team. Otherwise you can't win, because the main thumb of rule is that when you split push and when the enemy manages to get you split up, the game is over. Yes, you are gonna lose a turret, but if you collapse on them, it would result in one turret loss, and then you can keep pushing that momentum towards the other enemy split pushers. This would result you in an easy win. But in this case, we did see Team Red, not respecting that the split pushers are called split pushers for a reason, that they can manage alone. So they should have, taken those 5v5 collapses, but they did not do that, and they suffered really bad for that. That's the only thing I want to add for all those rookie teams out there. If you see an enemy team split pushing, get all your friends together and bandwagon any solo laner, or just jump into their team. It's probably gonna work towards your will, unless the enemy team.
You probably like maybe lose like a turret or an inhibitor or something. But at the end of the day, if you're able to pick off about 3 people who are, for example, in a 1-3-1, if you're able to pick off the 3 people comp in the mid lane and you have 5 people alive, that puts you in an advantageous position to maybe take an objective like an Elder or a Baron or something like that in the late game that could change the tides in your favor. So I guess what Blade is trying to say is, against team comps that have the split push threat going on, make sure that you always have some kind of an answer to it. It's either an all-in, or you have solo laners who can match the enemy solo laners. And if you can't, you need to either send in your duo against them and hope that they don't lose, or just try to defend and play defensively and wait for the enemy team to make mistakes that you can capitalize on and change the game around. Now, I also want to point out a little bit about, now when I'm having a look at the scoreboard here, I can see that the builds that have been implemented by the side of Team Red, I was honestly expecting to see a tank Silas, at least an off-tank Silas, but this was an AP Silas, so which means that he is not going to have any kind of, pressure or survivability against either an Urgot or an Irelia. And if you have a look at Charger's build, he opted straight into a Spear of Sojin, which I
Yeah,
don't think
which
is an
which
ideal second item for a Xin Zhao.
I
mean,
agree too. That was major blunder in his build, because I was thinking about the same fact. Why exactly did he go for Spear of Shojin when he was super behind? He didn't even complete his Triforce. He just went for Spear of Shojin first,
Yeah,
which cost him a lot.
and it really doesn't matter. Like, there is actually even no point in going for a Triforce if you're behind as a Xin Zhao. You need to build tanky and be able to at least be some kind of a frontline, because that ultimate can negate so much range damage from that Lucian, and just like keep Lucian out of the fight. That ult alone can keep Lucian out of the fight. But
And and if he is alive, he can also he can literally he can make Amumu useless. He can just push Amumu away. He can just zone the entire team out. But Xin Zhao was, he wasn't alive that long to zone them out. He can use his ultimate and knock the others away, but he did not use that. He just, literally did.
He tried to go for the quick burst kills, but it didn't really work out in his favor. And while the rest of the team, built pretty well, I would say, Kasa opting to actually go for a Liandry's Torment second, which is actually really good against a team that's very tanky. There's 4 frontliners who are incredibly tanky, and mixed damage from the Amumu. So it's the best item to go in that situation, I would feel. And even the thing was, the Wayne was fed. Okay, like, he had 3 items in that game as well as a QSS. There is no way they should have lost that.
But the problem was his usage of QSS. He wasn't. I believe his usage of QSS was really bad. That I gotta put out.
It wasn't that bad. It was just slightly delayed, maybe 1 second, but in League of Legends, even 1 second is enough to get an ADC killed. So, AIDS, I know you're probably listening to this, man. Remember, I'm one of your big fans, man, and you did really good on this Vayne, and I respect the fact that you picked Vayne again, to try and show that you will make less mistakes. And actually, Vayne did make less mistakes this game. Comparatively, when compared with their first game, Vayne did make less mistakes. And honestly, for me, the person who stepped up the most and performed in this match was Kassa on the Galio. He was doing a lot of work for this team, and he really tried really hard to try and get his team ahead. He landed some fantastic taunts. He landed some really good ultimates, except for that one time in the Dragon Pit where he accidentally, I'm guessing he accidentally used his stopwatch there before completing his ultimate. Which led to the team fight turning in the favor of nA.Phase. But I have to give props where it's due. And when it comes to nA.Phase, Saber and Kratos and also Mojo did play this really well. Especially Irelia, because he was just so far ahead of everybody else on the map. He was just on a league of his own, right? And there was no answer to it. And, well, against a fed Irelia, what can you do unless your Vayne is also evenly fed? And they had heal for the Vayne. But again, this is why I feel like even though they drafted for the early game with and also have a good scaling late game comp with the Vayne, it just was not enough. I feel like the Xin Zhao just was not enough for them. Maybe they could have gone with something a bit more meta at the moment, and maybe something like a Jarvan, for example, who was left open in this game. And Jarvan is really strong in this patch too, especially with a team comp like with a Galio, a J4, and a Nami, and the Vayne. It's just so much you can do with that, especially if you have a Sylas that can steal the ultimate from either the Cosmic Radiance from Taric, or the ultimate, the Curse of the Sad Mummy from Gar. So that would just put them so much ahead. But again, just some really bad decision making, but definitely better than the first game. I know that PnX Red are going to come back. They're going to go back, watch these replays. They're going to see what they did wrong, probably listen to our casts also, and try and learn from these mistakes that they've made and come back even stronger. But for now, congratulations, nA.Phase. And if you guys are still here, tuned in, listening to us talk about the game that's already over, thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure casting with you, my friend, Unseen Blade. So any final thoughts before we call it a night?
Well, you did cover pretty much all of it. And well said. I guess we can call it a day, and that was, a spectacular match to watch, given the fact that Team Red did adapt really well. They adapted all their mistakes from, match 1 but they made new ones as well. But the fact that they adopted the early ones was really good. How they changed their playstyle in early game did really surprise me. But other than that, it was a really good match to watch. So well,
Okay, well, I guess that's it from us. This is Hades and the Unseen Blade signing out for now. We will catch you guys on the next tournament. So
thank
keep it
you
locked.
all
And
for
both the teams up there, and for all the teams, all the viewers, all the spectators, referees, and everybody who played a part in this tournament. Thank you so much for making Sri Lankan League of Legends possible. And I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week, month, and year ahead. Until we catch you next time, this is us signing out. Peace.
see.